roll A, take A.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for this edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Umberto Zarco.
And I'm Virginia Pellington.
From a new logo to a campus master plan to the future of the university, major changes are coming to Virginia Tech. High-level university officials took the week to break down construction, classes, and rebranding. Newsfeed reporter Ashley Wills has a look at what's to come for the university.
There are many reasons to be excited about Virginia Tech in 2017.
Looking to the future, that was the focus for Virginia Tech this week.
And there's a lot of, I might call it magic, but others would call it a science, to getting it right.
As the university works to expand not only its Blacksburg campus, it also wants to get nationwide recognition. To help with that, university officials launched a rebranding campaign.
But what we needed was a brand that allowed us to express the bold moves forward.
Parts of that bold move included getting rid of the old academic symbol and replacing it with something a little more familiar, like the flying VT athletic logo.
We needed a mark that was more than what athletics was, but brought it together so that if you were someplace in the world and you see that mark, you'd say, oh, that's Virginia Tech.
But the changes weren't just about rebranding. The campus is also looking ahead at how to grow, and part of that included creating a new university master plan. The company Sasaki, which once worked on campus for the university in 1994, is back to look even further into the future.
It doesn't happen next week. You have to really have a long-term vision.
In President Sands' yearly State of the University address, he said he has even bigger goals.
The world will be our campus, and our students, faculty, and partners will co-locate to where the action is.
And with all of the new changes, the university says it will keep true to the foundation that Virginia Tech was built on. In Blacksburg, Ashley Wills reporting for the Newsfeed.
When most people think of fall, many think of the seasons changing, festivals, and of course, football season. But for some, October is a symbol of survival, a time to spread awareness for the life-changing disease, breast cancer. Newsfeed reporter Alexis Johnson shares with us some tips for early detection and resources for breast cancer that are right here in the NRV.
Located in the Carilion New River Valley Medical Center is the Women's Cancer and Care Suite that provides a wide range of services for breast cancer patients. Dr. Lena Grover tells us more.
So we are doing mammography, both as a screening exam that once a year the women come and get the mammograms done. And if we find something, we call them back, and that's what we call a diagnostic mammogram. And then we also do breast ultrasounds, and we also do biopsies.
The center works in conjunction with Blue Ridge Cancer Care. According to national statistics, 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer throughout their lifetime. Because of this, the dedicated medical professionals at Blue Ridge Cancer Care Center, located in the heart of the NRV, are spreading awareness by encouraging women all over about the positive aspects of education as well as early detection.
There's nothing more important than primary care, and so it's really important to have a good primary care provider, because things that hurt people sooner or later in life generally start with no symptoms, and so you have to screen in the absence of symptoms to find those things.
This is Alexis Johnson reporting for the Newsfeed.
ESPN's College Game Day travels the country in the fall to feature the best games that college football has to offer. The College Game Day crew has visited Blacksburg recently to highlight Virginia Tech's matchup against Clemson Saturday night. Their presence on campus amplified the excitement surrounding the rematch of last year's ACC championship, but also required a great deal of preparation on behalf of the university. Newsfeed reporter Josh Rodman has more on this story.
Thanks, Umberto. Anytime the College Game Day is in town, fans can expect added excitement to surround their game. What often goes unnoticed by fan bases, however, is the amount of preparation and planning needed to host the show in a short amount of time.
Blacksburg was buzzing with excitement this past week as Virginia Tech prepared to host ESPN's College Game Day for the first time since 2007. ESPN crew members arrived on campus Thursday morning and began assembling the College Game Day set after coordinating with the university for almost a week.
They let us know late last week that we were on the short list, and then at the completion of the game on Saturday night, we got word late Saturday night that we were going to be the site. And then they had sent us ahead of that kind of a check sheet on if we come, here's some of the things we need to be thinking about.
Issues such as parking, power, building structures, and the overall footprint of the set were among the items listed on the check sheet. They were also taken into account by ESPN's advanced team while viewing potential sites on Monday, September 25th. ESPN, in coordination with the university, ultimately selected Alumni Mall as the location for College Game Day.
The reason we picked Alumni Mall, it's so iconic. You know, I mean, that is the backdrop. That's arguably the most beautiful spot on campus. And so when it comes to game day, it's about more than just football. You know, I mean, the stories they'll tell that day, what they will feature in their segments, it's about Blacksburg and it's about Virginia Tech.
Hosting College Game Day was largely a community effort because of its widespread impact. The athletics department, local police, facility staff, and emergency medical personnel all played a role in the planning and preparation.
From a prep standpoint, you're turning it around really, really quickly. And so we have to do a really good job making sure from staffing that we're covered and then go overboard on a lot of what we would typically do for a game. It's, in essence, we're trying to run 2 football games on the same day.
And speaking with Senior Associate Athletic Director Brad Worthman, he acknowledged the challenge of time constraints, but also expressed his excitement to show Virginia Tech to a national audience. Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Josh Rodman. Now back to the news desk.
Thanks, Josh. Controversy in the sports world is nothing new, but recently, NFL player protests during the Star-Spangled Banner have caught national attention.
Also in sports, could the act of kneeling during the anthem make its way into collegiate athletics? Protests have many fans divided, and athletic and university administrators were unavailable to comment on the matter. The protests have made their way in one form or another into preseason NBA games and even high school sports. NCAA athletes following suit is a possibility. The Hokies have little to worry about, at least on the football field. The team's iconic entrance keeps them in the locker room until after the anthem has finished. Basketball, however, is another story, with both teams on the court for the duration of the song.
The transition from high school to college is one of the hardest tasks for a student athlete. The Virginia Tech Athletic Department tries to help by bringing speakers and alumni players to help convey a message that focuses on determination and hard work as the key to an athlete's success. The Virginia Department continues to push student athletes to excel both on and off the field. The athletic department has recently started a leadership culture that helps support and engage with freshman student athletes to help them transition into their first year of college. Speakers and special guests come to educate freshman athletes on different ways of how to become a successful student athlete. Academic All-American and Football All-American Andre Davis was the first speaker. His motives were to give the freshman athletes keys of success that would help them throughout their college careers.
The thing I really wanted to tell our freshmen today was different keys to success. They're young right now and they've got a long way to go, but I wanted to give them some tips that's going to help them be successful their time here at Virginia Tech. This is something that's not only
incoming athletes often struggle with balancing their schoolwork and hectic practice schedules, and the athletic department has decided to help with that transition. Speakers and classes from the athletic department have helped ease the transition.
There's more ahead on the newsfeed. We learned what components of a tailgate make for a successful pre-game celebration.
And we'll learn how Cam Phillips is making a name for Virginia Tech on the football field. That story and more after this break.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Welcome back to the newsfeed. I'm Umberto Zarco.
And I'm Virginia Pellington. On September 30th, Virginia Tech took on the defending national champion, the Clemson Tigers. The Hokies wore their all-maroon uniforms in their annual Maroon Effect game. To go along with the team, fans were encouraged to wear their Maroon Effect shirts. Students and fans came to the campus bookstores to find the new Maroon Effect shirts that can only be purchased in the bookstores. The shirts have a simple design from the 2012 Maroon Effect shirts on the front, and on the back of the shirt is designed by the student that wins the annual competition.
We put out this contest and we say we want a slogan for these games. And they submit slogans for us. This year it was "This is home field advantage."
The football program already had their White Effect game earlier this season against Old Dominion. Their final themed game of the year will be on October 21st when the ACC rival North Carolina comes to town for the annual Orange Effect game, which will also be the Hokies' homecoming game.
There are several things that come to mind when thinking about Virginia Tech football. Some think of Frank Beamer, others think of the lunch pail defense, but what many people forget to mention is the tailgating outside Lane Stadium. From tents to pickup trucks and Maroon Effect shirts, the tailgating scene at Virginia Tech is evolving. Newsfeed reporter Freddie Mesmer has more on this next story.
During the fall in Blacksburg, Virginia, Saturdays are unique. Saturday no longer becomes a day to run errands or relax. It's a day of family, fun, and football. The Virginia Tech Hokies play in Lane Stadium, and while they prepare for each game on Saturdays, the outskirts of the stadium are filled with fans engaging in a historic tradition, tailgating. The parking lots are filled with maroon and orange as fans arrive hours ahead of kickoff to start their fun. When it comes to a great tailgate, planning and preparation are key to success.
We kind of plan. There are several of us, so like 6 of us that coordinate together, and we try to coordinate food, what the main course is going to be, and then what sides, who's bringing what. And we've got it down to a science pretty much now with the tables and the chairs.
The university has done something new this year for its tailgaters. The Hokie Club has brought in a company called Tailgate Guys to set up tents, coolers, TVs, and more for those looking to be right next to the stadium.
I think we're going to come back here at some point.
You can pay a fee, and again, you get a tent, table, chairs, catering, TV, whatever you want. It's literally turnkey, meaning you pay the fee, and you just walk up, and it's all there waiting for you.
Lansden says by year 2, they hope to have increased numbers for the use of this new tailgating amenity. The tailgating culture at Virginia Tech is growing each and every year and finding new ways to make it better than before. Some people may set up TVs, while others may show off their Hokie-colored cars. The art of tailgating is still being mastered and is evolving year after year. Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Freddie Mesmer.
In more football news, Virginia Tech wide receiver Cam Phillips has been making some noise recently. Through the first 5 games of the season, he's been one of the best receivers in all of college football. Newsfeed reporter Chase Parker has more on the star wideout.
There have been some pretty impressive wide receivers come through the Virginia Tech football program over the years. Antonio Freeman, Andre Davis, Eddie Royal, and of course Isaiah Ford have all graced the field here at Lane Stadium. But perhaps the best receiver to ever catch a ball in the maroon and orange resides on the current roster.
Cam Phillips has emerged as not only one of the best receivers in all of college football, but he may be the best in Virginia Tech school history. Just last season, it seemed clear that Isaiah Ford had earned that distinction, but Phillips has already broken 2 of Ford's records, and now he's going after more.
I mean, our relationship is still the same as it's ever been. We're brothers, really. He already knew, it wouldn't be, much, to break the records. He's saying, that should be easy for you to get.
Phillips is within reaching distance to the school records in career receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. For redshirt freshman quarterback Josh Jackson, having a receiver like Phillips has helped him tremendously in his progression.
I think it's helped me a lot because, he definitely has my back when I throw a bad ball, and he can just jump up and get it, and you don't have to worry about that. And having that type of safety net to just go to whenever I really need to is definitely made things a lot easier on me.
If Phillips stays on the pace that he's at right now, he will finish the 2017 season as one of the top receivers in the entire country. In Blacksburg, this has been Chase Parker reporting for the Newsfeed.
That will wrap up this edition of the Newsfeed. If you have a story idea for the Newsfeed, let us know. Send us an email at thenewsfeednrv@gmail.com. And as always, you can also connect with Newsfeed on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching. I'm Umberto Zarco.
And I'm Virginia Pellington.